you're in a game in full screen mode, I've got to tab out, I've got to move the mouse around. Meanwhile, whatever's making the loud noise is still making the loud noise. So, forward, lower, on. Okay. I'm going to run around the headland. Obviously, this field doesn't really need much of a headland since we've got the dead bit around the edge, where we keep driving over it, or I think that was mowed with a single mower plus the loading wagon. Which is good. And sorry, CO Anderson, I should have said morning to you. Welcome to the day after Independence Day. So yes, this series has been going along for a while with seasons. So we are now technically into our 4th year. Hence the number of hours on some of our equipment. The Challenger, the class, get heavily used for planting, ploughing, and all the fun heavy-duty stuff. The Case and the JCB are relatively new on the farm, so don't have quite so many hours, but they're still heavily used tractors. Our Fendt Harvester only has about 40 hours on it, but that's 3.5 seasons of harvesting. So the hours are getting put on the equipment, and frankly I really don't see the need to swap out things like the Challenger. It meets the needs of our farm, so it's going to be around for a while. Okay, and we'll turn that to there. I think that looks okay. We'll stick that on a worker. What do you mean? Oh, I can't. Okay. I'm going to have to do it manually, because this is not a field, it's a pasture. There's no defined field border. Yeah, we're just going to have to cut this manually. Not a big deal, but kind of hoping to get to wrapping the bales. We'll wrap the bales over in field 3 and field 9. But once we've wrapped and baled and moved everything off of this field, we will get the plough out. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a heavy plough or a light plough. And we will make this into a field and plant it with grass. That way I'll be able to work, put a worker on it in the future, and also fertilise it to improve the yield. So for the most part, using these mowers does give me I don't need a rake. However, because we're doing clover hay, it figures, well, I kind of do need a rake for the farm anyway. Doing this saves me a step. I don't have to I don't have to come out with a rake if I'm just doing silage. But obviously going around corners with this setup, the front mower doesn't follow the same track as the rear mowers, so you end up with a wider than desired row, on the corners. Should probably have done a third headland at the end. This is not a particularly manoeuvrable tractor. And also this mower set doesn't play well with the class. And it's not the only tractor it doesn't play well with. I know on one of Daggerwin's series, he was using this setup with a mod tractor, and that mod tractor, the front mower, wasn't working. And I think the front hitch on the tractor is too high, so the mower doesn't get low enough. This is also a mod tractor, not a problem. So I can use this with the mower set, but I'm restricted using the class. And now, rather than mod class, I could go with the Platinum DLC class, Axiom 940, but I was using Smetty's class tractors all the way through my FS19 series, so I decided to at least feature one of his vehicles. I ended up for a short time featuring two. The Favorite 800 was also one of his, and a very nice tractor, but it was just getting to the point where I needed something with a little bit more guts. And also I was using a Lindner 130 around the yard, and we needed something heavier. So we got the JCB to cover the tight manoeuvring in the yard when I want to put some stuff away. For the most part, I can get things in and out, as you saw. I could mount the mowers on this, although it wasn't what I would call an easy task. You have to be very precise with manoeuvring of the tractor because of the width of the yard there. But yeah, no plans on including cows on this playthrough, so at least not at the moment. So harvesting this field and turning it into a defined field rather than a pasture, it's going to serve to help with income. We don't use grass for the most part, so all of this just goes straight into a silage bale and then down to the BGA for sale. We're running a heavy sheep heavy farm, and so sheep get most of their nutrient from some form of clover, whether it be clover silage, clover hay, or just raw clover. Not that we're using raw clover at the moment, because when it's working, the feed troughs fill with the grass that's in the sheep fields, so not an issue. But over the winter we will need some clover, I think, to feed the sheep, although I seem to be having some issues with that. Again, it is what it is. We'll figure out what we're doing eventually. So that's mowing complete. I can put these mowers away. Pick that up. So if I push that, those will fold up nicely. Turn that one off, lift it off, fold it up, lift it off the ground. But yeah, using this just saves me the time and effort of hitching on the rake and or what do we have? We have we have a windrower somewhere. I have it hidden in some other shed. Most of the grass equipment's here. So we've got the tedder, we've got the mowers. The baler goes in this shed, the wrapper goes in this shed, and the other thing, the bale pickup trailer goes in this shed. All very carefully arranged, like a jigsaw or a Tetris. Okay, that can go. Oh, hold on. There. But we'll be out again tomorrow for the clover. I expect we'll be out tomorrow for the clover. And we're still, yeah, we got 500 sheep, but we're still not quite to the point where they're eating more clover than we produce in a year. Not even close. So, still a fair amount of the clover does go to the BGA as silage bales. Go there. So yeah, as you see, we're struggling a little bit to get in, partially because of the angle. I probably shouldn't have put that what do you call it, belt right opposite where I need to get in and out there. But if I do struggle, yeah, using the JCB, it has the four-wheel steering. We can get in and out of that shed really easy and stage up the equipment somewhere, and then move along from there. Okay, where are the plows? Big plow is there, small plow is there. So I've got a big plow to do the middle of the field, especially with some of our fields being as big as they are, and then the smaller plow. I bought the case to run that, which is why the case is slightly higher horsepower than everything else in its size. And that we just tidy up the edges with. Okay. So you're good. Do I need to come down here for anything else? No. Okay, I'm going to put this in the cut through there, and we'll just park up. Okay, let's go find JCB. Steering mode 15. Crab left, crab right, all-wheel steer, yes. Okay. So the nice thing about this is with the all-wheel steering I can really get it lined up no matter how close or far I am from the bale. It's a very maneuverable piece of equipment. That hitch length is just massive. It's just a slow process. On the earlier series we were using the X tractor to wrap our bales, and that works for grass. It doesn't accept clover, which is why I had to find an alternate method. And I don't see the point in having an X tractor and this, just because, yeah, it's added expense on equipment that we don't really need to justify. This, as I said, it takes a little bit longer to run around and wrap everything. I keep forgetting I was going to buy one of these things. I think I've got it added. Yeah. I was going to add one of these things, 2,500 kilos. So it's a really heavy weight, but you can use it to nudge the bales straight when you come at them at a slight angle. And back when we were in Lawfolds, we had that huge grass field. So I used to run the mowers, the rake, the what else? The baler, and then the wrapper. And I always used to put a safety weight on the front of the tractor hauling the wrapper, because there is an issue with the square baler. Sometimes it doesn't drop the bales straight out the back, and it goes off at an angle, and so they're all running on follow me. So the only vehicle I'm paying attention to is the one at the front, which is the mower, and then making turns. So it's not like that. We were going up and down the field, and this has dropped at a 90-degree angle to that because farm sim physics. But to be able to nudge it out the way without damaging the front 3-point or the tyres would probably be ideal. Anyway, that's our next one. Here we go. So yes, so as I said, our daughter is now basically what we've decided. Her summer schooling is predominantly English, because there's some subjects that you start later in your schooling, but you can't really start them if you're at primary grade reading skill. So we figure if we can get her reading skills up, then she'll be better founded for starting and understanding things like geology or botany or human anatomy, that sort of thing, which tends to kick in later than grade 4. There are a lot of bale pushers, and the safety weights was just one of the things that I happened to come across back in 17, and kind of works out nicely because you can use it as a weight when you're not baling, and as a bale pusher when you are. I think you're probably supposed to use it on the street, although a 2,500 kilogram bumper is going to make a mess of any cars you crash into. But then we're talking a couple of tons of tractor, so either way it's not going to be good news for the car that hits you. How do we do? So farming agency map, this field was actually defaulted to an arable field, not grass. Now I haven't really I immediately planted it as grass, and I don't know, I wonder if I should put it back to arable. The thing is, all the fields on this map, all the grass on this map is in this area here. Well, not that one, that's a sheep field, but this area here, and then up over the top here. 46, that's where the castle is. So up the back here is all grass, and I don't need grass, but it's handy to have this because we do make use of digestate. So I don't really want to be in a situation where I'm running out of digestate when I need it, although with precision farming we do seem to need less of it. And as I said, it's also mid-year income. We get 3 cuts of grass a year, which is all silage, all sales to the VGA. I'm not using it to feed anything. And And I like the mid-year income. Although having experienced this map now for a year, the mid-year income, most of it comes from contracts, because all of the fields are contractable, or at least near as I can tell. It's just, we've supplemented most of our farm operating costs, contracting out fertilizer spraying and all that sort of thing. But there's still the concern with digestate. But the small grass fields around our farm are very cheap, relatively speaking. So I could add some of those and make this into an arable field. Just one of the smaller ones. It's got a lot of stuff around the edge though. How big is this field? Let's research that while we're messing around. We are in field 3. This is 3.2 hectares lands. 8 acres, so 7 acres. 8.7, so nearly 9 acres. This one here is only 5. That one there is 13. So it could work as a potato field, or probably not a sugar beet field, because we do use sugar beets on the sheep for the sheep, and they do end up eating a lot of it. I started the year with 30,000 crates of sugar beets, so 30,000 litres, and we've what car? Just the if a car decides to crash into a tractor, the tractor would be probably the least damaged of the two. But, just use a big bud, yeah. I'd never get it down the lane and up to the farm though. Oops. Anyway. We've still got a fair number more. How many did we? I suppose I can actually find out because it's our field. So, stats. We have created 49 bales of our 2 fields. So yeah, I might. We're getting to the point where I need to start considering what we're going to buy next year, and obviously the fields over here, possibly 31, maybe not 28 because it's bigger, it's slightly more expensive, but 31, 24, 23, 29, again 30's way too big. Those would make some good fields for next year. 7 I have to buy because we're going to be up over 1,000 sheep next year, and so no, we've got 250. Yeah, it's 500 per. We'll be over 1,000 sheep net by next spring, so I'm going to need field 7 for some overflow, and so that's going to be a thing. Plus also spreading the sheep out over 3 fields means less issues with keeping up with moving the wool bales, which only spawn during springtime, but I think with 250 sheep per field, we're coming in at 4 crates per half day, just under, or just over half a day. We were getting 4 crates, so I had to move them twice a day. Now I did add, is it that one? Something. What the heck's that? Sorry, distractions. Oh, a CCM. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did use CCM sometimes during Farm Sim 17. There was an auger wagon that would convert corn into CCM. So you had to unload your harvester into that particular mod. It would create CCM, then you stick it in the silage bunker to ferment. Okay, it's not there. And they're animals. It's not there either. Oh man, where is it? I don't know. There's a sheep thing that, or a sheep rack that you can buy that will collect the wool for you, and is much bigger than 1,000 litre wool pallets that are normally produced, and will go up to 64,000 litres. Now I'm not sure we'll go that high, but quite possibly getting a few of those at 16,000 litres. Allegedly you drop it in the wool spawn point and the wool will load into that instead of spawning its own crate. So that having a few of those, and we're gonna I mean a few of those, because we are generating. Last year we generated 16,000 litres, probably 15,000 litres of wool per day for 9 days. And if you see, the advantage with playing with longer seasons or more days per season is that wool production is slower, because you just produce, it's the amount of wool you produce in a year. So if you've got 9 days of wool production, it's going to produce fewer pallets per day than if you have 6 days or 3 days. So another thing to consider when you're deciding on your year length. White Hawk, good morning. Welcome to the day after Independence Day, or as some people like to call it, Traitorous Rebel Day.